have a friend who often says that when emotion is too great for words, there's music. And I think you're going to feel that from this film. Now, first, I have to thank Canada for bringing us some great musicians. And actually, Consul General brought that up this morning at the opening event for today. And he said, you know, Gordon Lightfoot, Neil Diamond. I'd like to thank Canada for those musicians and many others. But after this film, you're going to thank the USA for ALOE BLACC.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for coming here tonight to see my new film, Black Panther. I had to make you laugh first, so now I know you love me. And when you see the film, you're gonna love me some more. It was really an honor. The McGillivray-Freeman producers of the film, along with Brand USA, invited me into this opportunity to tell the story of the roots of American music. And when they first came to me, they said, we want to see if you'd like to submit a song for this film we're gonna do about music, maybe do an interview. And I was like, that's cool. Let me just do the whole film. So they did. Boy, I didn't know I was in for it. We went around the entire country. We went from New Orleans up the Mississippi River to Memphis, cross over Tennessee to Nashville. We went up to Chicago, Detroit, New York, down to Miami. And you'll see in the film, there's some amazing stories that didn't quite make the film, but you'll see who I got a chance to meet. I just want to share one really beautiful story with you. One of my favorite musicians is a gentleman by the name of Ramsey Lewis, brilliant jazz musician. And in my teenage years, I unapologetically sampled all of his music in my hip-hop tunes. I had a chance to meet him and apologize for not paying him his royalties. But he told me a really beautiful story about the power of music and the power of generations and how it brings people together and opens them up. Now, Ramsey had a drummer in his band by the name of Maurice. And Maurice, what he said, was a shy young guy. And he didn't like to be the center of attention at all. And he used to talk with a really meek, quiet voice. But he'd play fierce, loud drums. And every day on the stage, he would tilt his cymbals so that the audience couldn't see his face as he played. And Ramsey thought, okay, I'm gonna see if I can get this guy to come out of his shell. So he handed him a kalimba, a thumb piano, and said, you know, play a solo in the middle of the song. So Maurice would play behind the drums, behind his cymbals, a little kalimba solo. And then Ramsey would encourage him, why don't you stand up and play? And so he stood up behind the drum set, nonetheless, and played the kalimba. And then he eventually started working up the courage to move to the front of the stage and solo with a mic in front of the audience. And he finally came out of his shell. And I thank him to this day for doing that, because that young, meek Maurice decided to leave the band and go to LA. He said, I'm done with you, Ramsey. I'm gonna go start a band in LA with my brother Verdine. We're gonna start a band, Earth, Wind, and Fire. And the beauty of that story is that the legend and the amazing craft that Ramsey Lewis is as a jazz musician, he was able to connect the dots to make one of the finest soul and funk groups of all time. And I can't say he made the group, but I for sure feel like if he didn't give Maurice the courage to stand up, we would have never seen Maurice in tight one pieces with sequins. To me, that story made the journey all the more worth it. And you'll see, even in this film, the opportunities that I get to experience music, not just with my fans, but with my family. It was truly an American journey of music. I hope you enjoy the film. Thank you.